Okay, I'd like to call the September 24th council meeting to order and acknowledge that we are holding this on the unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq. Let's stand for the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I was going to say the CAO is sounding particularly good this evening to my left, and I realized it was to my left, and I realized it was Lindsay. Sorry, CAO, but we do have the CAO online, coming in virtually. Record of attendance, please. We're all good, and there's no absent with regrets. Any declarations of conflict of interest, anyone? Okay.
I'll be leaving the table in my EP.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Approval of the agenda. The agenda be approved as circulated. Councillor Bell, second by Deputy Mayor. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Thank you. Approval of minutes. There is one here with something off. Just trying to think of which one. Okay, so Town Council, August 10th. Okay, moved. And seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Special Town Council, August 24th, that the minutes of the Special Town Council be approved as circulated. Okay, Councillor Lesser and Councillor Hatfield, Heather, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Committee of the Whole, August 24th, please. Okay. So what was in this one that was?
It was to investigate a crosswalk, not to install.
Okay, so just in these minutes, it says to install crosswalk, but it was simply to investigate. Okay, so that's the only change in there. So can we have a motion to approve this with the change? Okay, Councillor Bell and Councillor Heather. Any discussion on this one? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Special Town Council, August 24th. Councillor Heather, Deputy Mayor, any discussion on this one? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Okay, business arising, micromobility bylaw, and the motion there is that council approves second reading of the micromobility bylaw. Is there, okay, Councillor Lesser, seconded by Deputy Mayor. Discussion, questions, anything? Okay, go ahead, Councillor Cleveland.
Sorry, just me being picky, but there was a spot here that, I'm trying to find it again, that was just, it seemed kind of strangely worded, and I just wanted to mention it, just to point out.
Can we have a motion for Councillor Cleveland to be picky?
It's about the exceptions here. Wheels diameter, platform. Vehicle operate, I can't find it, unfortunately. Okay, I guess I'll let it go because I didn't make a note of where it was.
No, if it
Oh,
bothers
there it
you,
is.
Yeah,
3.1, except where permitted by this bylaw, the operation of electric kick schooner in the town, no, is prohibited. No, that wasn't it. There was a spot where it said, where it was permitted twice or something, but I can't seem to find it now. I apologize.
no, that's okay. Let's, how about we leave this and you take a peek? Do you want to do that?
Yep, sure.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Okay, reports, council advisory reports, committee of the whole. Deputy?
I recommend a motion that council direct staff to install a crosswalk on Parade Street across from Myrtle Street.
Okay, so this is where it should be investigate,
Okay,
correct, CAO? Yes. So,
would you like me to reread
Yeah.
that? Yeah. The council direct staff to investigate a crosswalk on Parade Street across from Myrtle Street.
okay. Okay, seconded. Any discussion on this one? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried. Deputy?
Recommend a motion that council proceed with the active transportation trail next step of installing share the road signs, bike lanes, and AT trail on Stars Road and develop the north end of the Heartland Trail.
Okay,
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried.
Recommend a motion that council request the RCMP to present their quarterly reports at committee of the whole.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried.
Recommend a motion that council approve the first reading to amend the Regional Emergency Management Bylaw to include provisions of the Emergency Management Act.
Seconded by Councillor Bell. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried.
Recommend a motion that council approve the Facade Society's request and expand the boundaries of the mural program from Vancouver to Argyle Street.
On Vancouver Street.
From Vancouver to Argyle Street, okay? Okay. Who seconded that? Okay, Councillor Bell. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried.
I recommend a motion that council amend the Community Asset Donation Program policy to include a timeline, process, and annual recognition.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried.
I recommend a motion that council direct staff to investigating installing slow-down traffic signs throughout the town.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Probably going to need about 600.
Well, I will say around Beacon, there is some speeding and whatnot, and I think there's other places that could use it as well, so
Yeah.
safety first.
There was someone stunting. I think I posted that someone was stunting and the names of the streets started to come up with concerns from people. And I mean, we can just investigate that, but yeah, okay. Any more discussion on that one? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried.
Recommended motion that council adopt the asset retirement obligation policy as presented.
Moved and seconded. Go ahead, Counselor.
Yeah, just, I guess, a quick question. Is this a policy that every municipal unit is going to have to adopt?
Your worship, yes, every municipality will have to adopt it and every public body. So our municipal corporations also have to do this work and have a policy.
Okay, so I just wondered, I guess my question was regards to shared assets, such as, for example, the Mariner Center.
Right.
Okay, so the policies will blend.
So, yes, we'll make sure of
Okay,
that.
great. Thank you. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay.
The short answer will do.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any more discussion on this one? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Oh, that was it. Okay, citizen advisory committees, that would be you.
It would be, and to go back to the other, I can't find the spot, and so I'd like to make the motion that we approve second reading if it hasn't been made yet.
Okay. Second reading of the micro-mobility bylaw. Okay, seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Okay.
Okay.
Go
Sorry
ahead,
about holding
Counselor.
that up.
No, that's okay, and if you find it later, like, just let the CAO know, and
Okay.
it might just be just a double word or something.
Recommended motion that council pass first reading to enter into a development agreement with the owners of 577 Main Street to allow for 11 units to be used as dwelling units, short-term rentals, or a combination thereof, and B, any use permitted within the underlying zone of the Town of Yarmouth Land Use Bylaw, LUB, for the property at 577 Main Street.
Okay, so moved, seconded by Councillor Lesser. Discussion on this one? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contrary? Motion carried.
And recommended motion that council appoint Grace Stark as a new member of the Planning Advisory Committee.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried. Questions for committee chairs? Is there anything anybody wanted to report? Go ahead, Councillor.
Yeah, just quickly, I previously mentioned that we created an airport task force to try to secure future funding for the airport. That subcommittee will be meeting on Monday, and our hope is to identify at least 5 more members to the task force. So if between now and Monday, if there's somebody you think would be a good fit for that, please just send me a quick email. Thank you.
Are you following your matrix to any degree, or a matrix that you have?
We're using the airport, the one we use to
Awesome.
identify members, the citizen members to the airport, yes.
Excellent, thanks. I figured you were, it's just,
Yeah, no, we are, but in another sense, we're looking for key people, like,
Oh, absolutely.
for example,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a crossover.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the right combination.
I agree. It's sort of like saying the Mariner Center doesn't need to be filled with everybody that coaches hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's-
Yeah, we don't need
for the right-
8 pilots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay. Okay, anybody else? Go ahead there, Deputy.
It's more of a comment. Just on September 22nd at 11 a.m., we're proudly presenting the number 2 Black Construction Battalion monument that Chuck Smith and Todd Muse and many have worked really hard on. It's nice that the town and the municipality see the importance of that as well. The Prime Minister was in Truro a little while ago and made an apology nationally. So it's nice that our local members will be recognized. So anyone in the community that's listening that would like to come out, we'd like to see a full house to just celebrate that day and give those who served a proper respect. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, and we'll get lots of communication out about that as we get closer as well, because it is important. I was going to just say probably now is the best time to do it. We've got a storm coming. We don't know where it's going to hit, but if you follow it right now, it's going to hit this building, probably. It's coming right at us. So just a couple of things, and I'll say this, I've said it in all the media and on any type of post. Folks need to be 72 hours ready. That's a standard that you need to be prepared to go on with your life, not as normal because your power might go out or things like that, but 72 hours you need to be prepared to be able to live where you're living without any assistance. That means water, food, medication. You know, there's all kinds of places that you can find what you need, batteries, all those types of things. So there's that. The youth between the ages, I believe, of 16 and 24 can go to shift house if you're displaced. It's not free for all. It's if you are displaced, you have no roof over your head. You need a safe, warm place to be. Shift House will be open. They will have extra beds. And of course, you know, things to keep you comfortable. And Shift has also asked us if we would be willing to allow them to go into the fire hall. And of course, we are willing to do that. We worked with the chief and our REMO director. So Shift will be taking the fire hall from about noon on Saturday until, I want to say, later Sunday evening, and then they will go from there to see what that's like. And that as well, right now, that as well is for displaced people. It's not a comfort center, it's just a drop-in if you have no place to go and you need a roof over your head. You know, if you are just, I say, out in the cold, but that's the other thing that I'll say. It's still summer, so nobody is going to freeze. Nobody needs a hot meal, so I won't be cooking any turkey dinners. But you know, if you can just have things to eat that are not that don't have to be heated, let's just say it, that you can put between two pieces of bread would be good. Just make sure you have those types of food in the house. Trying anything else? Am I missing something? Anybody wants to throw in there? Call your neighbors, call your friends, you know, just check up on them. This may be easy and it may be really, really difficult. We have no idea. It's up to every individual to make sure that you are ready for this. And it's up to the community in general to make sure that we're checking on people and that, you know, the more vulnerable people are looked after by the rest of us. So I just wanted to share that. We've got a great communications person here that gets information out all the time. Sign up for Alertable. You'll get those. You know, check on the REMO website, the town website, everything. Just get that information. And I would also say about Shift, you don't need to bring any food there. So I don't want anybody to panic about bringing food because they have everything they need. The last time, I think, Steve, didn't you have to get a trailer to get the food out? So they don't need anything like that. And we say that because we know how giving this community is and everybody wants to help. So yeah, anybody else need to share anything? We're good? Okay, approval of invoices, please. Yes, CAO? Go ahead. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Two things to add, Your Worship, is one is that power outages are likely. We're being warned about that, and so people need to be thinking about living without power. It could be a very short time, but it could be extended as well. We've seen that in other places in the province. And secondly, we're expecting potentially trees to come down, or branches at the very least. And so immediately after the storm, if there are trees or branches down in the streets, the town will go to work to remove those so that people can get around. But it's important that people don't take the opportunity to, any more than necessary, be out and around and you know, go out to see the damage, because the people who need to clear it up need the room and the ability to move around and get that work done. So the town will look after the streets and the sidewalks and the public spaces, and residents who have trees, you know, will have to look after that stuff themselves. And we do have information out about how to dispose of your tree and limb waste if you are so unfortunate.
Perfect, thank you for that. The other thing is staff is out 24/7. You might not see them every 2 minutes, but they are out. They're working diligently ahead of the storm, during the storm. They're out in really bad conditions. We just need to give people a minute to get things done. So that's important. We have to respect the fact that they are out there. So, you know, I'll say this as well, because it needs saying. You know, REMO is out there if we have to call an emergency. We haven't called an emergency yet. we may not have to, but if we do, you know, our emergency measures is the lead on that, those pieces of information. And it's important that folks know that there's not really anything that we're not aware of. Okay, so we just don't want to bombard everybody with did you know, I guess. I don't know how else to say that. It's really hard, so. Okay, we just want everyone to be safe. Date of next meeting, go ahead, CAO.
Sorry, Your Worship. I should also mention that anything that people see or are experiencing that has to do with town services, as usual, we have an after-hours number that people can call. That is monitored 24/7, and staff are contacted. So if you have a flooded basement occurring where you need the town's assistance in some way, use that number. Don't call EMO.
Yes.
For town services, call the town number, and if the town requires the assistance or backup of EMO, they will contact EMO. So
Exactly.
just wanted to put that out there as well.
Yeah, thank you. We can get that number listed, or it's on the website anyway. Yeah. Okay. Date of next meeting's October 12th. Approval of invoices. Okay, thank you.
Second.
Councillor Heather and Councillor Dares. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. And motion to go in camera? Before we go in camera, I will say, I know people are watching and it's a quick meeting, but what we just did is ratified what took hours and hours and hours to make our way through in the various meetings that they happened in. So with council, it's just a matter of ratification. So, okay, so motion to go in camera. Okay, so moved, seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Good.